Hello, my name is Dennis Lee Bush, and I am the author of Egosynergistics, the most shocking approach to synergizing your ego for out of your world results. I want to thank you for providing me with the opportunity to share with you 68 years of living, but most specifically how I used my experiences in my life to contrive a wonderful way to live your life. And I call it Egosynergistics. If you Google Egosynergistics, you will find the word does not exist, as this is a word I have coined. But what you will soon discover, that is, Egosynergistics is more than just a new word. It will be your new way of living life. Now let me be clear, this is not a book, it's not a novel, nor is it an autobiography, even though you will hear a lot about me, a lot about my family, a lot about my experiences. It's still a workbook. And the only way for you to become a better ego being is to work at it. And I'm going to make sure you work for it. So, book, workbook, semantics you say, I say not. This is a workbook, and you are going to work through every single process that I provide you. Now before we begin, I'd like to share with you a few key aspects to the workbook. The first is the QR code, which you are familiar with since you did use the QR code to get to this video, and you're watching the video now, so that means you know how to use the QR code. In the workbook, I use the QR codes to provide you with an additional learning method and to create some fun, fun ways to connect to a particular concept, approach, or idea. So please, please, please don't skip the QR codes. You're going to be missing out on a lot of neat stuff, so use the QR codes. The next important aspect of the workbook, here you go. I do use bad words. I also use sexual references. Now I do these references and use bad words only when it's necessary to make a point. So please don't get offended. They're there for a reason. I also use references from movies, YouTube, and TV shows like Seinfeld and Big Bang Theory, South Park. And these are there to bring some fun and laughter and levity to the learning process. And of course, to make a point. So again, please do not get offended, as there is meaning to my approach. Okay? Some madness to my approach, right? Okay. I will be sharing with you some new and different ways to change your life for the better. And at first, you may think some of these concepts or these approaches or methods or things I'm asking you to do may seem a bit like, I don't know, out of this world. I have friends who say to me, like, Dennis, oh, your ideas, oh my God, are you sure you're not from Mars? So, to give you a heads up when I'm sharing a new concept with you, I'm going to tag it with a picture of me and Marvin the Martian coffee mug. You'll hear more about where this all comes from a little bit later into the workbook, but when you see Marvin the Martian coffee mug and me, and it's usually while I'm having breakfast, you'll know that you're about to get hit with something out of the unusual. Okay? The next aspect of the workbook is the way I communicate with you. Every so often you will see something called a personal note. It's bold, it's highlighted in blue, and it's in a different font from the rest of the text in the book, in the workbook. A personal note is something that is special to me, or it describes an event in my life, or is something of a private nature I'm now willing to share with you. And most of these personal notes will include pictures and videos of me and my family and my friends and, personal activities, things that I've done in my life that really are going to be shared with you to make a point. So I use the personal notes as a way to tell my story in hopes it will have some relevance and meaning to you and the story you want to tell as you move toward becoming an ego-synergist. An important feature in the workbook is how I use science, research, and even historical data to support and validate the concepts I'm going to be presenting to you. So, even though you may think I'm from Mars, the science is going to prove you wrong. After each section, I conclude with a one-pager, just one page, and I call it, What's the Point? And on that page, I do, what's the point? And the point is, in 10 sentences or less, providing you with significant points to what you just read, watched, experienced, or learned. So it's a good summary or wrap-up to the section that you just completed. Finally, as an ego-synergist, you will live your life as the extraordinary person I will help you to become. As an ego-synergist, you will live your life being humble-like, being honest-like, being trustworthy-like. As an ego-synergist, you will live your life being vitality-like, for a healthy mind, body, and soul. As an ego-synergist, you will live your life being forward-thinking-like, with the purpose of creating new ideas, concepts, notions, designs. And as an ego-synergist, you will live your life being courageous-like, minimal fear, to act, to implement, to produce, to make things happen that will have a positive impact on your world. And as an ego-synergist, you will live your life being inspiring-like, to motivate, to stimulate, to encourage, to excite, to electrify, to inspire the people around you so they, in turn, can make great things happen for themselves and the people in their world. Thank you for listening to this short introductory video, and now, without further delay, let's get to it.